Hey, namaskar everyone, this is Shorob and you are welcome back to a new video of Golang. So it's been a long time, I know you guys were waiting for new videos, but I was a little busy in my daily life, but here I'm back. So in this video we're gonna learn about CRUD operations on Golang with its slice and pointers, and we'll also use extracts as well. So there's some prerequisites for following this video that you must need to understand what are extracts, slices, and functions as well. So I have completely dedicated videos on these topics. You can find out on this playlist, which I am actually going to describe or include in the description of this video. Okay, without talking too much, let's get started. Oh, okay, before starting this video, let me tell you that what is CRUD, C-R-U-D. It means C for create, R for remove, I guess, yeah, read, sorry, R for read, and U for update, and a D for delete. So we're gonna apply all these operations on a slice so that you can understand better. Okay, so I have already opened up my VS Code in with the Go UD folder where we are actually making all the projects or days. So here let's create another day, which is day 23. So this is the 23rd video of this playlist, and let's open it up in our VS Code. And okay, so fine, let's create it. Okay, first of all we need to initialize the Golang project here. I guess you know already how to do this, but if yet not, then don't worry, just you need to follow the following code and execute it on the terminal. Go mod init, which is actually initializing a new project in this day 13 directory, which is here, and followed by init we need to give it a name. What do we want to call our project actually? So let's call it as CRUD operations. It's completely up to you, whatever you want you can call it. So here we can see that go.mod is created, where we can see this module is called CRUD operations. It's using go on pointer to O. Let's create another file called main.go. So this file is going to be responsible for executing all of our codes. Okay, so right after creating a main.go file, we need to declare two things. First of all, we need to declare the main package, and secondly, we need to declare another function called main. After that, let's create a extract of user model. We need to create the user type, which is going to be extract, and it will have a name, which is going to be a string data type, and age, which is also going to be it's going to be a integer data type, not interface. I want it specifically used for integer. That's completely okay. Now let's create another variable called user list, and here we're gonna create a slice of user. This is the reference to that particular extract. So this slice is just going to take this user data type only. That's what it actually means. Fine. Right after that, we can see that if we import fmt.println and print out our user.list and run the following command, go run main. So here you'll see it's an empty slice. So let's come here and add a user, initial user. name. Let's call it showrob and is 25. And if you run this same command, it will give us on user struct.slice. That's what we are actually expecting. Okay, so now let's create some functions. First function is going to be read all. The second function will be read single single user, then update user, then okay, and then delete user. So that's CRUD. And yeah, create. We need a create too. So let's come here, create a user. So this is CRUD. Okay. So now let's declare their associated functions. Create, and then read, then read user. This means single. Okay, read single user, or you can see read single single user. That's okay. Update user, and add delete user. Let's name it as user. Okay, read user and create user, so it can be much more meaningful to us. Now as we are writing it, we are going to write it in directly inside the memory, but you can also do it on the stack. But in this case, I would like to handle the writing thing in the memory itself, so that we can access it from anywhere without returning any data. So let's go and accept a user list argument parameter. So it's going to be a type of slice of user, and it's going to be a pointer. Okay, so if you don't know what are pointers, I have a complete dedicated video on it. I will link it in this video. You can head over to that video to get a better idea. So let's add user list, and it should be a pointer to that, and the append should be here, and add, it will take a user details, which is going to be a type of user, and this append method will append this user inside the user list, and it will return it inside the memory itself. Okay, so let's test it out. So now I just want to call that function create user. It will take this initial user list. Obviously it's asking for a pointer, so we do need to give it the reference of it. Then we need to give it the user details that we need to append inside this user list. So in this case, let's add name Srijita, and age is 2. That's sweet. Okay, now if you just print it out after running that particular function, which is create user, it will print out with extra user inside this list. So let's test it out. Here we can see this is the first print, which is actually referring to this print, and this is returning us or showing us a single user which is initially seated inside our initial user list. Okay, so right after running this function without returning anything, we did save it in the memory. Okay, so it's actually calling it from the memory itself. Fine, so it's create. Now let's read all. Okay, so I can read all. Let's come here. Let's create. Okay, read user, a single user. So we will we definitely need to access the entire list to filter out a single user from there. So user name, so it will take a username which is going to be a string. So based on the username, we are gonna filter out that particular user from that user list. To do that, we can use for loop. So the for loop to enumerate inside not enumerate, iterate inside a list, we will get a index and the user itself, index and user itself. They're the variables that will come from the user list, range of user list, and it's a pointer because we are actually calling it from the memory itself, right? So now we don't need this index field. That's why we're gonna infer it with a underscore. So the compiler will actually avoid this. Okay. So now let's call it user. If the user, it will actually loop through the entire users available in the user list, and when the username is going to be username will match with our username here, this given username, which is actually search keyword playing as a role of search keyword. It will print out it fmt.print println the user itself, and it won't run the it won't go for the next loop or the next item of the list once it find out its particular user. Okay, so we are gonna simply return it from here. Okay, so now let's call this read user, and okay, so we're gonna simply comment out the first one and print it out here. For that, we need to pass this pointer or reference to that user list and the name we want to find. Let's say we want to find out Srijita inside from the user list. So now if you my bad, if you run it now, it will give us the Srijita. Here you can see. So this is the list here. This print is actually referring to this line, and after that this read user is called, which is actually taking the user list and the search keyword, which is Srijita, and inside this read user we are looping through this pointer user list which contains the user, and from there we are ranging through this iterators, and it will return two things. Range will return two things. One is the index number of that particular item inside the list and its value. So in this case we don't need to work with the index. That's why we just opt it out by adding this underscore, which means in Golang that it's avoided, and the Golang compiler need to avoid it. The user is there, and once this username is going to be matched with our source keyword username, then it will print print out that particular searched or matched user and return from here. It won't go for another loop for the next element of this user list. So that's what is Srijita here referring this line. Now let's okay, it was single read user. Okay, read user, and this need to be read all. Okay, fine. So the single user need to be replaced with this, and this comment need to be replaced with here, placed here. Okay, so we need the same thing, but in this case we just need to paste it out here. We don't need any source keyword because we just want to print out the entire list. Okay, to do that we can also use print that list, but I want to print all of the user individually. To do that we can call loop here again. So we don't need any index, but we can make use of index here. Index user, this will come from a range, and from where this range will return int throughout this user list from the memory. And here let's print out the ID is s string, or yeah, plus p, and index, and index, okay, and the user itself. That's how it will work. Yeah, that's how it will work. Now let's scroll bottom of this and comment out this read, and create can be listed here, but read all, and it will expect, it actually expects a list, reference of that list, because we are expecting pointer to that. So here you can see that print, it's not available, I guess. Yeah, it need to be fmt.println. So fmt is a package directly comes from out of the box with Golang. Here we can see that two things are here, and it's not giving us anything. So okay, we just want to use this. Okay, now it will make more sense. So here the ID is 0, and the first thing is show of, and ID, the second value is Srijita is 2, and its ID, or the index number, position number, is 1. So this is how we are getting it. Let's update something here. We're going to add another create a user, and here we need to name it as Pihu. Okay, that's my brother's daughter, newborn baby. So she's 1, let's say, and in this case let's see if it's giving us that or not. Here we are getting 3 values, and now we just want to replace this show of with something else. Okay, so to update that we need the entire user list, and what we need to update is user details. This is the user details will be able, actually not user details, okay, new user details. It's going to be a type of user, and a source keyword, let's say source key, source by name. Okay, let's name it source by name, it will make more sense. And this function is going to be occupied by this 3 parameters. Okay, now let's go and search for it. We are still in this case going to iterate throughout the entire user list, so it will also return as index and user, which will contain the value of it, and the range will help us to iterate through the entire user list of pointers. And then we just need to search it. Okay, search by name. If the user dot name is equal to search by name, in this case we will update it by doing something like what? Yeah. We can do user as the new user. Okay. And okay, so we actually it won't arc because it will just update it inside this loop, but outside this loop it's not going to affect. To make it effect, we can simply go here in the user list, can simply replace it, and as we are using it as pointer, so we need to wrap it with the first bracket and followed by this. We will get its corresponding ID or position, and simply we're gonna replace that ID with this new user. Yeah, that's going to be a good implementation of updating a particular slice from a slice element from a slice. Okay, so now let's call this update user, and once it's updated, and yeah, once it's updated, we need to return it. Okay, we don't need to follow check for the more elements inside that particular list of or slice. Okay, so here let's give it the user list, then the new details of that user. Oops. User, and it will take a name called Rust, and age is going to be 20, and the source parameter, this is going to be show of. We're gonna actually replacing show of with Rust and age 20. So okay, so it's a string. That's well. So in read all, you'll be able to see all the list, which is show of Srijita and Pihu. But after that, if you run this read all, you'll be able to see that. Let's give it a reminder. fmt dot println after updating function. Okay, after updating function, it is just going to play as a divider, that this is before updating and after updating. Okay, so now let's open it up, run it. Here you'll see that id show of which is 0, it means the index is this, that. After running that particular function, we're calling it that after updating function, then we are actually printing it again. So show of become Rust and the age become 20. That's how we can update a particular user from a slice of user struct. Okay, so now let's go and delete a user, which is most crucial part in this tutorial. I would like you to highly pay attention to this topic, because it's going to bother you a lot if you don't pay attention to it. So let's go here, and to remove a element from a slice of user, we must need to actually access that user list. So in this case, we're gonna call it again user list, and we'll expect a slice of user, and we need to remove something by a search keyword. Search by name. So it's going to be a type of a string. So based on that search by string name, we're gonna match within the element within user list. To iterate through that, we need to use a for loop, which will give us index and user value, and we'll to loop through that iters, we need range with pointer. Once it's here, if user.name is equal to search by name, and let's say 2. Okay, so search by name, then it's just going to replace like this, slice it. So as we are using pointers, we need to wrap it inside this bracket, first bracket, and then okay, so we need to append it. Okay, append it inside where? Okay, we need to append it inside this user list. So it's going to update it here, right inside here. So it's going to update directly inside. Okay, not like that. Inside the list, append user list is there. It will start. From, okay, this angular bracket, this bracket is using we're using to wrap up the entire user list because we're using pointers. In case you're not using pointers, you're handling or working with the stack memory, then it's not required. So it's actually required for only when you are using pointers. Okay, so it's going to start from, okay, it's going to start from 0 to the particular index that we just found. So it's gonna inclusive. So this index, it will actually happen from 0 to the previous value of this particular index. That's what it is. Okay, so after that, the second thing, okay, it's going to give us this. So user list, and it's going to start from, okay, so index plus on, because the starting is not inclusive. So starting is inclusive. Okay, so, and the ending is exclusive. So okay, so we need to add from the user list with the value that we don't want to index here. So we're gonna increasing it with 1. So it's gonna skip that particular index positions element, and it will start from right after that, and it will end up with the rest of the thing. This is this spread operator. After that, let's return it so that we are not going to fall inside this loop. So now let's delete it. So to delete it, we need the same reference to that user list, and where in this case I just want to remove the name that we have already removed it, so replaced this name showed up with Rust. So we want to remove this Rust, and again we need to call it that after removing function. We need to call it. So now you'll be able to see that the Rust is missing from here. Here you can see the Rust is missing. After removing function, Rust is missing, but in this case, updating function, Rust is there, and before running this updating function, it was showed off. So yeah, that was it for today. This is the complete CRUD operations with slice, extracts, pointers. It's really important. We're gonna cover it in more details in our upcoming videos, and we're gonna create obviously full stack applications too using Golang. Let's save this contents for next videos, upcoming videos, and if this video give you a little bit of value, then please make sure to subscribe this channel, hit the like button of this video, and do share this video with your friends. And if you have any doubts, feel free to comment down below. I will definitely help you out there. Thank you. Namaskar. Good night.